Okay, so in today's video, guys, we are going to be going through the top 10 Piggy secrets that you did not know about. Series 2. So guys, we did do 5 episodes of this series like over the last few months or so, and I have recently put those 5 videos into one big movie. So if you would like to go and check that one out, then make sure to do so. I guarantee you that there are probably going to be quite a few secrets in that video that you did not know about. And of course, today is no different. We are again going to be going through 10 more secrets that you potentially did not know about. Now, I'll be honest, there are actually a couple in today's video that I think are really good secrets. So when we get to them, I shall let you know. But first, guys, if you could be using star code Antixx when you're buying Robux or Premium, that would be much appreciated. And of course, if you do, make sure to take a picture and send it to me over on Twitter or Discord so that I can show you guys my appreciation. Also, we're getting extremely close to 200,000 subscribers. So if you haven't yet subscribed, would you mind doing so already? Thank you. But anyway, guys, the top 10 secrets in Piggy, let's do this. Number 1, all cryptid messages. So I did do a video rounding up Piggy Book 2 Chapter 8's secrets. Now today I'm going to be going through these just in case you did not see that episode, or just in case you simply just skipped that part of the video and you never actually managed to get these messages. Now, courtesy of a friend of mine, Big Dad T, he actually managed to figure out loads more cryptid messages that were hidden inside of Piggy Chapter 8. Those cryptid messages reading out, "You have fallen for the trap. She will just keep you hostage. Escape her." The next one reading, "They are in an endless loop. You are regretting all your decisions." The next one then reads out saying, "Zizzy will never speak. The insolence calls to you. Help me. Run. Her hand gone. Smile for him." The next one then says, "When the full moon rises, beware of the shadows." Ooh, scary. And the next one then says, "Make sure to smile when you die. It makes us happy." The next one is a decoded messages, which actually reads out saying, "We stopped them up there and will stop you too." The next message reads out saying, "The reason you are here is because of her." That is interesting. So who exactly is her? Could it be Zizzy? Could it be Willow? I mean, there's not really that many females around. Maybe even Mrs. P. And finally, the last one says, "Next time you meet her, stay a good distance." Now, I will say that I'm interested as to where Big Dad T actually found these notes or these coded messages, because there are actually quite a few. But these messages are extremely cool. It gives us some really good depth of like storyline as well, with the whole her going on as well. That has been, you know, hinted quite a fair bit. And even when the full moon rises, beware of the shadows. Extremely creepy. Number 2, Dakota. Now, what animal do you guys think that Dakota actually is? I want you guys to go into the comment section down below right now and message in the comment section, what animal do you think that Dakota actually is? Have you done it yet? Have you actually gone down into the comment section? Because if you put a dolphin, you would be wrong, because Dakota is not in fact a dolphin and is actually this thing right here. So this thing that you are looking at right here on the screen is something called a dugong. Now, this has been confirmed by Minitoon that Dakota is not a dolphin and is in fact a dugong. So if you guys thought that Dakota was a dolphin, then you would be wrong, because Dakota is actually Dakota dugong. If you guys say it, it's actually really fun to say, dugong. Number 3, 6 more chapters. Now, I think that quite a few content creators have actually covered this, but not actually covered this in a video. I know that Creekcraft has brought this up in live streams, and I have also brought this up in quizzes as well, but we are actually getting 6 more chapters in book 2. So at the time of this recording, we are currently on chapter 8 and we're still waiting on chapter 9 to be released in a couple of weeks. However, Minitoon has confirmed that he's actually going to be doing 2 distorted memory-like chapters, meaning that we still have chapters 9, 10, 11, 12, and basically the distorted memory 1 and the distorted memory 2 still to come to Piggy Book 2. And then, of course, once those 6 chapters are all over and done with, it looks as though we will be moving over to Piggy Intercity, which I'm extremely interested to actually find out how that is actually going to work. So again, bear in mind there are only 6 more chapters left in Book 2. Number 4, Underwater. Now this is actually a really interesting one, so let me know in the comment section, did you actually know this? Now I'm actually going to put a tweet up on the screen right now by Minitoon, and this reads out saying, "Ahoy everyone, here's a fun Piggy fact number 2. A lot of the plot from Piggy comes from an older project of mine, set in a post-apocalyptic world set underwater. Never got to finish it, so I thought I'd incorporate it into this, as well as upcoming projects." So, upcoming projects, what exactly do you have in mind for that, Minitoon? Now there's actually something later on in this video that is going to link back to this tweet. But just the fun fact that, you know, Piggy was actually based from an older project that was in a post-apocalyptic world set underwater, that is extremely weird. Number 5, Landbridge. Now, what if I was to tell you guys that I bet that you have probably missed this secret inside of Piggy? So we all know that we have Lucella, we all know that we have Doveport, but what if I was to tell you that we also have a place called Landbridge? And we know that we have a place called Landbridge because if you go into the safe place and you go into Giraffe's room, there is a certificate on the wall which basically reads out saying, "This certificate certifies that Giraffe has shown exceptional skills in environmental studies at the biology school of Landbridge." So not only do we know that there is another place called Landbridge, but Giraffe's actually really good at biology, and biology actually being quite a very detrimental kind of thing going into Piggy. I mean, if he worked in medicine, that would probably be a lot better, but the fact that he actually worked in biology, and biology is all to do with the body, that's quite interesting. Especially considering that Piggy is all about the infected and how the body reacts to the infection, as well as all of the eyes and stuff. So I do find that pretty interesting. Number 6, the recording. Now this was one of the biggest secrets that did come out in Piggy chapter 8, and I'm going to play you guys a very short little clip, basically just showing you guys this cryptid message, but all the way put together. So there you go, we did bring that up earlier in the video with the whole Zizzy, her hand gone, but this is actually a piece of audio that actually B-Slick did post to YouTube at one point, just put in reverse. But the thing is that the whole entire clip is actually split up. So, you know, like 10 seconds, you'll have Zizzy, and then about 20 seconds later, you'll have another section of the whole encrypted message. But I've actually put the entire message together here so that you guys can actually listen to it all in one. Now the interesting thing here is that, yes, we have learned that Zizzy's hand is gone. It has disappeared. It has been cut off because she did get scratched and she did become infected. However, the other interesting thing right here is that it basically says that the Insolence calls to you, and it looks as though whatever it is, the Insolence actually has Zizzy. The Insolence knows about Zizzy's whereabouts and what exactly is actually happening to Zizzy right now. It's also telling us to smile for him, which is just a little bit weird. So I'm assuming that this potentially has something to do with the friend skin that you do spawn in the port chapter. This guy seriously has to have something to do with the Unsolents as well as Mr. Stitchy. Number 7, the container. Now I'm actually going to do a completely different video on this secret because this is actually pretty interesting and I feel like there's actually more meaning behind this. Now if you go to the blue container that is actually in the ship map right down at the bottom, just as you escape the door, there is some banging that actually happens. So yeah, just take a quick listen to this. So of course there's like some creaking and there's also some, you know, banging or rattling as if someone is like running their hand along the inside of that crate. Now what exactly is inside this crate? Well guys, there's no voices coming from the crate, so that must mean that whatever is inside is infected. After all, we do know that the infected do not speak simply because of that carnival end cutscene. So what exactly is inside of that crate? Or should I say, who is exactly inside that crate? Again, like I said, there will be a video coming this week on this secret. Number 8, fire, water, under. Now, luckily for you guys, if you don't have Twitter, then I'm actually going to fill you in here. Minitoon recently did a show where he got asked 3 words to describe the next chapter. Those 3 words being fire, water, and under. Now the fire, what are we going to be expecting with fire? Well, we're expecting the explosions that did happen at the end of the ship map. There were explosions in the distance, so potentially we are going towards the military, and when you get military you get firearms, you get bullets, you get explosions, so I'm sure that that is what the fire means. The next word, we had water. Now what exactly is water? Well, if we have fire, the water I'm sure is probably going to put the fire out, so I'm sure that there's probably going to be something inside of Piggy chapter 9 where you have to basically put out the fire by maybe putting a hose on it or something like that, so I'm assuming that that is where Minitoon was going with that word. And finally, the most interesting one right here is the word under. Now I did a video last week, so if you would like to go and check that out, then make sure to do so. I think that you would actually really like it because, you know, someone stole my theory, JB. I'm joking guys, I'm joking. But there was a cryptid message that Minitoon actually put out on Twitter, basically saying something along the lines of, the Insolence watches thy crimes, the Insolence watches thy crimes for lifetimes, or something like that off the top of my head. I really can't remember, but it was something, again, something to do with the underneath. The Insolence watches from the underneath. And what exactly is the underneath? Well, here's that video to go and find out exactly where I stand on that message. Number 9, who summoned? Now guys, I feel like this is a pretty big secret that I feel like really not a lot of people have actually considered here. Now of course that we're expecting, you know, Mr. Stitchy to spawn in via some beacon, and we're kind of expecting it to happen in the future. Well, what if I was to actually tell you guys that maybe Mr. Stitchy has already been spawned in, because we kind of spawned him in. So of course in the forest chapter there was a limited time mode where you had to basically collect 5 candles, then you had to go to the broken down little shack type thing and you basically had to put 5 candles in a pentagon shape, and then all of a sudden Mr. Stitchy spawned in from some purple looking beacon. Would you call that a beacon though? I mean, it's definitely some kind of purple mist, but beacon I'm not so sure. Beacons are normally something that are on top of buildings or on top of structures to basically warn like aircrafts and stuff like that that there is a building or a structure in the way. And off the top of my head, I'm pretty sure that any building or structure that is over 200 meters actually has to have a beacon. So what if we, the player, were actually the person that spawned in Mr. Stitchy? Because I'm pretty sure that in the forest chapter we actually spawned in the fella, and there was some form of light that did create as he was spawning in. And we also had to take Mr. Stitchy to another light, or portal shall we say, that was inside of that cave. So what if Mr. Stitchy is already in the game? And what if no one else actually spawned in Mr. Stitchy but us, the character, the player? I just wanted to add that secret in today's video because I actually hadn't really thought about that until the other day, and I thought, do you know what? I think that we might actually be to blame for this. But I would love to know your theories or suggestions down in the comment section down below. What do you guys feel about this secret? Do you think that I have a pretty valid point, or do you think that we're going to still be waiting for Stitchy to spawn in the future? And finally, number 10, she can live on. Now this one is also slightly linking towards the container. There is a note right here that says, "They got me," next to Captain. I was the last. I'm sealing this ship so that she can live on. I've failed too many people today, but I refuse to fail everyone. Kenneth. So I'm quite intrigued as to why Kenneth was sealing the ship so that she can live on. Who exactly is she? Was he speaking about Budgie to kind of try and save Budgie, or was he basically speaking about potentially something in that blue crate? After all, we do know that Budgie was scratched by something and is a complete liar and did not lose their arm inside of that swimming pool accident. It's going to be something to do with getting scratched, or, you know, bitten by an infected. But I do find that this note is extremely interesting. I feel like the whole her thing is quite interesting, that there could be somebody else down in the ship that we haven't yet seen or heard from that is basically trying to save from going out into the open. My theory behind this is that, again, Mrs. P could be in that blue crate and that he doesn't want her to die. So he's basically locking her up so that she doesn't get out into the real world. But anyway, guys, that's going to be it from me today. Hope you guys did enjoy today's video. Make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and we shall see you guys in the next one.